Rollie on big time. Facing my goals, that's a big climb. Still my flow is unshakable. Run it up. I cannot quit it. I need it. I ain't where I want to be.
Well, even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020.
Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Las Vegas Raiders. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out. And he returns this to the 22. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That's a gain of 13 and a very solid opening play for this offense. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. And they really won.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes.
And the Vikings are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
They run the counter with Cook, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Play action. It's Wilson. Rolling to his left.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
I know that pass was incomplete, but I'm awfully impressed with how he was able to maintain his vision, because normally when you break out to the left that way, it narrows everything down, almost becomes a half-field read. But he's able to still see the entire playing surface and try to connect all the way back to the right.
Found the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Barnard came into this game eager to see how they would hold up in man coverage. And on that play, they held up quite well.
So on fourth down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Once again, it's Jacobs.
40 yards rushing for him now in just his first 3 carries.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, this shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
To throw, Huntley.
And the catch made by Johnson. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Here's Huntley. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
It certainly took too long to set up play action, and that gave the pass rush time to get home for its first sack of the game. For their sake, they may start to think about the quick game and leave play action alone for a little while.
Here's Johnson with a reception. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 12-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one, the man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Huntley to throw. Touchdown Raiders! Hunter Renfrow with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders are on the board first here this afternoon. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have. You absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Kinetuagu now out of his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. They start the drive with Cook. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Oh, he's got a little daylight. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Here we go.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Again, it's Cook. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Bulldozes past him. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play quarterback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen, and the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. To start the drive, they'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Wilson to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Running for it. Here's Cook. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. It's a gain of 4 that time, and it'll be 1st down Vikings. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Here's 2nd and 9. Cook up the gut. Down right around the 25. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Off the play fake. Huntley will swing that out wide to Jacobs. Room here to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that it'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. The Raiders at 6-4 now on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Huntley. Wide open receiver, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Well, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
So a nightmare start to the drive as they're already staring at 2nd and long. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Throw left side complete. That's Weber. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, But this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
Cook. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
I think the reason this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darian Butler. And the Raiders will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Got 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
Every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know, as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
18 rattlers. Corey, 17.
Throwing on first down. Huntley. He finds his target. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster, and we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
When you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out of it, away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big opportunity lost.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Nuangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. and the Raiders pick it up. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. Ball at the 8 here for second and a yard, maybe a touch less. Counter play with Jacobs. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down. Huntley. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Almost 2 yards. It's 4th down.
Daniel Carlson on for the field goal. Remember, he was drafted and released by the Vikings. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Carlson is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. Nwangu now from his end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Right now, they're in a bit of a tough spot here, CD. You're trailing by double digits. Remember the last time out, they fumbled. They're going to have to play some clean football here on this possession.
And all the talk on their sideline has been about taking care of the football, making sure that they're handling the ball correctly. So you know they'll be squeezing the rock pretty tight here. They just have to be careful not to go so hard at doing that they actually cause themselves other problems. Take care of the ball, but still try to play free and natural.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. So still no touchdowns allowed by this defense. They get the interception there. CD, they have been rock solid.
And at this point, I think they have to expect that they're going to see some shots taken down the field. And that was almost a desperation throw right there. Just kind of hoping something good can happen. A completion, a pass interference. But this was anticipated well, and they came up with the INT.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode and really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off. And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Slot man moves right. third down. Huntley, throw left side, taken in by Renfro. Touchdown! Hunter Renfro, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Raiders take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit. It'll come out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. You know, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, they certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're just looking to do more of the same. They were good in the first half. They've extended their lead so far here in the second half. Oh, they're just looking good on hitting on all cylinders right now.
And sometimes that means the head coach who really has a finger on the pulse of the team may not have anything to say at all. May tell the rest of the coaches, just back it off a little bit. This team has it under control. I remember hearing about Bob Knight years ago in basketball, getting ready to give the final speech before the gold medal game in '84. And on the board, Michael Jordan had written, "Coach, after all we've been through, there's no..."
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up first and goal. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs, even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Second and goal from inside the 5. They try again with Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 24-10.
Raiders 24, Vikings 10.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get it. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you got a battle on your hands.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. A big play there for the Raiders. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a give to Jacobs running right. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and just a yard.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Looking to throw. Huntley, he finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
Nuwangu now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one's pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about it.
Now, quick hit, and he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down.
70 Lions, 70 Rangers, 70 Rangers.
Back to throw, Huntley. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Looking to throw. Huntley got his man complete over the middle. That's Schultz. Touchdown Raiders! Dalton Schultz, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 24. Touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Nuwangu now from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
On second down, Cook fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On third down, Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Wilson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position.
Ready, ready.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, a 21-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to